Hello, what's going on? It's your boy Justin, and welcome back to another video. A different kind of video. This is going to be an FF14 Reddit video. First thing I want to say is that if you found this video and you do play FF14, it'll make a lot of sense to you. If you found this video and you don't play FF14, well, now is a good time to jump in FF14. FF14 is an online MMORPG. Great content, not pay to win, ton of glam, cool people, you know what I mean? Like every game, there is some disagreements, but your chances of having a bad game in 14 are very rare. Everyone's really helpful, really cool, very kind. It's really good experience. Another thing, I want to thank the FF14 Reddit page for allowing me to post this forum and people responding to my questions in such a timely manner. It's a really great community where people really respond, answer your questions. And, you know, this is gonna be a nice chill video, you know what I mean? So grab some water, grab a snack, relax, you know what I mean? It's gonna be chill music. What we're gonna do is we're gonna go through this entire Reddit post about what FF14 should add for the next tank and healer in the game. You know, a lot of speculation. People want different things when it comes to healers and tanks. I think that they definitely need to add a new healer and tank. So without further ado, let's dive in to Reddit and see what the community thinks the next tank and healer should be. All right, welcome back everyone. We are here on Reddit now. Like I said, make sure you guys grab a drink, you know, grab some water, chill out a little bit. The music that's playing is called, it's from a game called Catherine. Check it out, and it's called also Spark Brooks, and it's a badass game. It's a badass soundtrack, super chill. I love this song, and yeah, so you know, I don't want YouTube to demonetize me, but I'm gonna take a little sip, you know, and then grab a little water. But yeah, I mean, there's gonna be we have 154 comments. I'm gonna try to skew through all of them, you know. Maybe I'll elaborate on some, have open discussion here, you know what I mean? But yeah, then again, thank you so much to the FF14 Reddit for letting me do this. I will try to post a video on the Reddit link to see, you know, afterwards people can probably watch the video back. But pretty cool engagement here, man. You know, a lot of views, a lot of thoughts here. So let's start off with the first comment. So, what did I ask, first of all? What did your boy ask the FF14 community? Well, I said, what's everyone's thoughts on the next healer and tank class? What do y'all want it to be? You know, I say y'all, I'm from down south, guys, from Texas. And I'm just trying to have open discussion about it here on Twitch, you know, on FF14 community posts. I really think the game needs more tank and healers. And yeah, any feedback is cool. Appreciate it. So let's see what everyone said about what FF14 should add for next tank and healer class. All right, we got our first post here. Tank class, Magitech armor and hammer. Nero is a job mentor. You are his test subject for his new armor. And that has like the most comments. So like, that's interesting. Nero is the dude that you fight in the MSQ roulette, you know what I mean? He has that hammer, that rocket hammer. You fight him in the Praetorium, I think that's what it's called. You know, I'm really bad at pronouncing things. I apologize. Don't hate me in the comments. But yeah, that's actually pretty cool. That would be a good story, like good class. He would be the leader of the whole job quest. That's not a bad idea, man. That's pretty good. That's pretty good, you know. Next comment. I long craved a gun shield job like Rethalin SAS Avena. Okay, yeah, I know you're talking about. I can't pronounce that, but I know you're talking about. I keep it a trio. But yeah, a gun shield job would be pretty cool. You know what I mean? That's interesting. That's unique. That's not bad. You know what I mean? And in the video, I will give what I think should be added. I think it'd be funny if you just had a big shield that you held with both hands and bop things with it.
Yeah, just like a big giant shield, like kind of like in Elden Ring and Dark Souls, you can just have like a giant door, just like big ass shield, just bam, bitch. Like, you know, I feel that too, man. That's not bad. That's not a bad one. And this is a comment off of the big bopping shield. Could be similar to a fist weapon class where the shield is in two parts, but often is combined together to be one single tower shield or something. Yeah, that's interesting. You know. And then everyone's really going off of this comment about Nero, you know, which makes me think that like they actually might add a hammer class. I was thinking that a hammer was kind of overdue. They have a warrior glam hammer, but bro, it's not the same. You know what I mean? Like, it's just you're still playing warriors just with the hammer glam, and there's not that many of them. There's one off the Mog Station. There's one I think from Savage. It's not great. Yeah, so excuse me, it's not that great. This person would absolutely love this. Sid would appear in a job quest. Yep, that'd be cool. Most divorced couple in history. Yeah. Let's see this. Who is this? Hey, reading my mind. We've seen this for 4 years now. We need a hammer job and a reason for more Nero. So Nero, I didn't know he was such a fan favorite. He's cool. You know, I never just liked. I thought he was like a fucking asshole. You know, but when you play, because right now I'm MSQ progging through Shadowbringers, so I did the Stormblood raids, like the Delta Escape. Pretty dope. You know what I mean? He's actually really dope. So yeah, he's a cool character. All right, we got a Necromancer healer. I want a full light party of edgelords. Necromancer healer, I don't know if they can pull that off. It sounds cool. A Necromancer in general would be dope. You see a lot of that in like Path of Exile and Diablo type of games. Interesting. Necromancer is confirmed to never happen because necromancy is unequivocally evil magic. Yeah, and that's the thing about it too, because like think about the lore FF14. You are the warrior of light. So you're a warrior of light that summons the dead to kill people. Holy shit. I don't know how that's gonna work out. That may not fit the lore of the game, you know, is what Uber Phantom here is saying. And this is all branching off of this one comment right here. You know, all branching off of the Necro Healer. I say making parts with the voice sent for the express purpose of killing people is equivalently evil too, but we have Reaper. Good argument. I heard that Reaper is pretty crazy like that in the lore, so but now we have people going off Reaper. People are going on a long thread here about what's evil or not, you know, and people are trying to back up necromancy. It's like, I'm sure we could find an equally equivalent lore explanation for why there are non-evil necromancers. Yeah, I mean, it's just the fact that like I said, necromancy is you're summoning the dead, you know. I mean, it's not that saying like the sorcerer from Path of Exile 2 is bad. No, she's doing good things, right? She's helping people out in the town, you know. She's, you know, yeah. I mean, so that could actually be okay. There are many anime and manga that have non-evil necromancers. Solo leveling being one, and the dead mount death play being another. They treat the dead with a lot of dignity. This is true as fuck. By the way, solo leveling, bro. Take another sip. Solo leveling, dude, is fucking great. Great anime. I don't want to get too much of a tangent here because I can talk, as you can probably see.
Well, no fucking shit.
But solo leveling, the way that Jinwoo treated like all the his summons, especially toward the end of the anime, were like really good. You know, a lot of dignity. I can't spoil nothing because you haven't seen it, but you need to watch Solo Leveling Season 1 and Season 2. You just gotta do it. There's no debate. Okay? So yeah, very true. I like that comment right there. You know, give a little thumbs up. Necromancy will be all but require you to raise, otherwise mess with dead by souls, which is unjustified, immoral. You can't gain consent from the dead. Okay. Yes, you can. Okay, let's go back and forth here. Okay, so my thoughts on all this thread is that I think it would be cool to have a necromancer healer. I don't know if Square Enix could pull it off with the lore because you're a warrior of light, but I do agree that there are people who can use necromancy for good and not make it so dark and demonic and evil. You know, if they really wanted to do it, they could make a way to make it fit the story of the warrior of light. And like, cause you know, that's what you are. You are a hero. This is Final Fantasy. You know, there is no FF protagonist that is necessarily evil at all. That's just not what Final Fantasy is. You know, it's not the type of game like that. And there's not even any branching choices to even be evil in Final Fantasy. Like, you can't join the Empire with, you know, guys bearing Belsar and just start killing people, you know. All right, so new thread here. We got Rune Fencer for tank, maybe. It could be interesting to see how they portray it in FF14. Rune Fencer, I don't even know what that even is. I'll keep it a trill. I'm not sure about that. But, I mean, it sounds cool. Is it kind of like a red mage but tank? Yeah. So it'd be like a, what do we say? In a way, I suppose that it is, except it doesn't cast offensive spells. In FF11, you imbue with the element to your weapon that do that type with your auto attack, as well as gain resistance to opposing elements. Think of Eureka Magma System. It will work well if poured directly with FF11, since the combat system is very different. That's why I'll be curious to see how they could implement. Okay, so apparently it's an 11. They could probably do that. Interesting. But no offensive spells. That's weird. Interesting. That's weird. I would kill for a tank class based off of Halone wielding a spear and a shield. Like Halone for FF12, you can say it's a lance, so it's a different main weapon from Dragoon. Isn't the Dragoon weapon a lance? Yes and no. Lance, isn't a lance more like Moss Hunter style with like a shield and shit, you know? Wouldn't it be like a spear, you think, for Dragoon? Not a lance. A lance is kind of more of a tanky shield type of vibe, I want to say. And they haven't really added that yet. They have a spear, but, you know, interesting though. That'd be cool though. A spear and a shield would be cool for a tank. All right. Here comes a comment that got some pretty good likes here and dropping some facts. So let's hear. All right. I don't think we're going to get both together ever again, to be honest. Yeah. I reckon it'll always be DPS tank, DPS healer, DPS repeat. Yeah. I don't see them adding a healer tank combo ever. Yeah, you know, that's the whole conversation. But I mean, bro, let's keep it real. I mean, if they did that and they didn't care about DPS is just more in demand, I think. Although we should be caring about our tank and healers just as much. But okay. Aesthetically, I would be like a healer using a melee martial weapon. IA night spellcaster can still be enchanted, magical, OC, or a bell user. I know they just put Geomancer in OC, and AST is kind of FF14 Geo per lore, but it's not really the same, yeah. And for tank, I really love a brawler type. Although I'm unsure if we'll ever get something stepping onto Monk's toes like that. I mean, they kind of stepped on Ninja's toes. I mean, with dual wielding, I mean, that's 2 daggers, and then there's Viper has two swords. That's how I felt about it a little bit. I know that Viper is not like a ninja, and I know they're very different. You know, watch out. Don't kill me in the comments, you know. I mean, whatever. I'm ready, but I'm ready, but no. But you know what I mean? So, but I mean, a brawler type, I always want a brawler type, like an actual like Balrog Street Fighter boxer. Can you imagine just going in there and just like doing like straight dash punches and shit right to the boss's face? You know, because Monk is more like it's not like a boxer, it's more like a mixed martial artist. You know, yeah. You do kicks and shit, and like, you know, you do like Bruce Lee, like, you know, like kung fu type of shit, but it's not like an actual, you know, get in there, let's go. So mostly I hope they probably rework the jobs though, because at this point healers, especially the tanks, are so sammy that it's just a reskin. Yeah, dude. I don't think they're gonna rework. What they should rework is Dark Knight. Dark Knight is in desperate need of rework, bro. I mean,
I don't like where this is going.
there's just so many things with that class that needs to be fixed, in my opinion. And just putting an AoE group heal is not enough, in my opinion. But you're right. I mean, there's only 4 tanks and 4 healers. I say the tanks feel kind of the same over the healers. I feel the healers feel a little more different right now. I mean, AST and Sage and Scholar and White Mage, they all have their own identities, but we just need more. You know what I mean? We need more. It said, never going to get a melee healer. Too many raid mechanics based on having a certain number of people in melee range. You end up with a lot of fights where one healer is significantly less viable than the others, because mechanics force them to have downtime, which is something that's also sucks, because there is a lot of downtime for healers, and that's a big problem. You know, I won't get into the whole healer strike thing, but if you know, you know. I want a melee healer, I really do, but I'll come back to that. Yeah, something with Geomancer and weapons being like a Stranger Paradise healer and a mace in her shield. The shield can make the healers a little tanky so that they don't have a loss in form of downtime. I don't know. I just really want a melee healer too. I'll come back to that. Let's see. All right, here we go. I'm not sure what they could add to a new healer to... Oh my god, I'm about to get tongue-tied. You heard us on my group love, you know what I mean? Differentiate. I murdered that. To make it different from the others. They homogenize the classes to such a degree that I honestly think that they back themselves to a corner with tanks and healers. Yeah. They need something that's gonna make it stand out. Honestly, bro. Chemists is what I want for a healer, bro. But a melee healer would be good too, though. You know what I mean? Straight up. You know what I mean? Like, but yeah, they... And this sucks, bro. You ever go to Duty Finder? It's like fucking... It can be like any time of the day. What do you see the most of? What's the role in need? Tanks. Healer, instant Q. Maybe like 1 second. Tanks, if you're lucky, maybe a minute. I don't know, man. I want a healer with a lot of attack abilities. Make attacks proc GCD heals to cause 0 MP, whereas they normally cost other MP. Really could give this treatment to healers across the board. More attacks. Attacks proc lower MP usage healing magic. Something different that creates fighting at least. Yes. Different. Yes. Different is what we need. We need a melee healer. I'm sorry. We need it. I'm going to talk about it. I think we need a melee healer. Healing is not played a lot. I know for a fact this role is not played that much. I understand that most of the time we're going off of Duty Finder and doing your dailies, right? If you're like in a friend group or FC, I'm not going to include that. That's a very different queue time and prog time. That's completely different. But when it comes to people who are solo players, or your friend's not always on, your wife's not on, your girl's not on, your boyfriend's not on, you know what I mean? Whatever flow that you roll, you know what I mean? That person's not on to play with you. You're playing by yourself typically, and you're playing random people, which is the charm of FF14, don't get me wrong. But healers just don't have enough going on. They're not engaging enough. You know what I mean? I understand sometimes there are in raids. There's a lot to do, because people are going to be dying. You're going to be rezzing. You're going to be popping your shields. You're going to be popping a lot of OGCD buttons. I understand all that. But in general, we need something that's going to be a melee healer. And I kind of want... a chemist. That's not really a melee healer, but that'll be a good healer. But I want something with like a mace and a shield, you know. That'd be dope, where you're actually in the action, you're in melee range, you're hitting things, and yet the combos you do heal your team either single or AoE. That'd be dope. Will they do it? I have no idea. Like a Conqueror from For Honor. something like that. A mason, they could make that work, and they could be a job quest for that. I think a mason and shield could work. I don't know. Leave a comment. I don't know, man. All right. People saying hammer for tank, but I will die on a heal for chiropractor. Did I say that wrong? The hammer healer. What? A hammer healer. Holy shit. I never thought of that. You know, you get a like just for being unique. What the fuck is that? 50% chance to heal, 50% chance to paralyze target for 5 seconds. That's pretty good. We also want a GSEM DPS with Goldburst as your mentor. Oh, interesting. I mean, a melee hammer healer is not bad either, bro. That's pretty fucking dope. To be completely honest, I'd rather they don't add another healer until they make the clue that healers need some kind of damage rotation instead of spamming one ability all the time. Otherwise, it'll be another healer with 3 or 4 damage skills plus whatever number, that 100,000 healing and shielding skills with different animation. That right there. That shit right there is what I fucking talked about, bro. I talked about this before in the video. Go through my channel about my thoughts on the healer strike. You'll find it. I stood on business, even though people hate me for it. That's what I do. About my opinion. You know what? You could be right about this, man. You know, I think they really do think that, you know, having this one fucking dosis, this one stone, this one broil, this one whatever the fuck the AST movie, I can't think of it right now, and just pressing that over and over again and setting your dot is enough, and it's not enough. It's not enough. It's not. And we do need some kind of bro, I've always wanted a 2-hit combo. I always want a 2-hit combo for healers. That's all I ever asked for. But you know, we'll see what happens. But I do think I respect your honesty on this. And I'm talking about this person right here. I do think that they're going to add another healer though. Despite what you said, and you're right, maybe they should fix the ones that are already here, giving them more of a rotation. I still think they're going to add another one next year with the same shit going on. So, okay, but I'll go get that like. My favorite class was the Scholar until they took away a lot of interesting offensive options to give it the generic single target, generic dot, generic AoE, and they made standard for healers. Oh shit. Sure, it made the healing potential for Scholar go up, but never needed it. It was a great class for being rewarded for balancing everything correctly. Yes, it's funny to mention that. Scholar is a great class. It's actually my favorite healer class right now. I'm about to get it level 186. I got White Mage and I got Sage R100. So Scholar's my next one. Scholar, you do balance a lot of things. Your shields, your healing, but you're right. I guess it took out a lot of shit. And, you know, I feel that, man. I feel that. You know, I feel that. So, all right, man. We chilling this video, man. This is a lot of great opinions, man. All right. As an AST player, the addition of Sage cost me Nocturnal Sect. That's true. I'm frightened what the addition of another healer could do my job at this point. Dude, or woman. I call her woman, bro, and dude, don't get offended, please. You know what I mean? I don't know why it took away the AST shit. AST lost its identity whenever they fucking took away the shield. The fact that you can go into a dungeon choosing either shield or like pure healer, I forgot what it was called. My apologies. It's been a while. That's what really gave AST a lot of like charm. That's why I wanted to play it. I'm like, cool. I can be a White Mage this dungeon run, or I can be a Scholar this dungeon run, and I can just choose what the fuck I want. But Sage became the shield. Sage became the nocturnal sect, and Astro became just a pure healer, to my knowledge, with buffs, right? Even the card system got simplified, you know, which is what it is. I mean, we're all fans here. We play, we roll, but we have opinion. And I kind of want AST to get their identity back, and I kind of want that shit to come back, honestly. You know what I mean? This is where it says, do you mean cost you Nocturnal Set? Nocturnal Set was a replacement. I actually think it would be really funny and actually good if we got another Regan healer and they gave AST the neutral set again. Yeah, I don't see why they can't give us another Regan healer, you know? This was okay. We got a negative comment here. This is our first negative right here. Probably nothing. I'll be more worried about the DPS jacking one of your mechanics. What? Nah. Yes, honestly, I think it's why I started playing Say almost as much as Dark. Yeah. I'll just be happy to have another sword tank. We have enough sword user as it is and need more weapon variety. Wait, you'd be happy to not have another sword tank. Yeah, there's a lot of swords in this game. And Final Fantasy in general. Doesn't matter what game you play. There's a lot of swords. Paladin, Dark Knight, Gunbreaker. Technically, I mean, let's not get technical here, but that's my boy Squall for Final Fantasy VIII. Technically, that's a blade. It's kind of a sword. It's just a gun blade. It's kind of still a sword. And then you got Warrior, which is an axe, which that's his. Warrior's unique because that's not a sword. But I don't think they're gonna add another sword tank. I will down this hill. Way too many sword variety classes. There are plenty of other options and variety out there. True. I really like to see a mace or Morningstar or a hammer. Hammer's probably coming. I'm telling you, hammer seems like a high contender. Though probably more melee or bow staff that comes up with a part from a 3-part nunchuck would be cool and provide a monk Exquisite tank. Yes, that'd be cool. Having a bow staff for a tank that would actually break parts like nunchucks, kind of like Maxi and fucking Soul Calibur, would be pretty dope. You know what I mean? Hell yeah. That's not a bad idea at all. Are you implying that Paladin, Dark Knight, Gunbreaker, and Samurai and Viper are too many sword users? Also, Red Maid. Wait. Did anybody apply that? It has one light. I don't know if they're applying. I mean, not Samurai and Viper, but I mean, honestly, bro, like Paladin, Dark Knight, and Gunbreaker all do kind of have swords, dude. And there's only 4 tanks, and so 3 out of the 4 have a sword. Kind of, you know. Also, Red Maid, sometimes ninja, depending on if they're equipped with our attending daggers or short swords. Oh, he responded. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, because Viper, those are swords. They're just 2 swords in each hand. And then ninja is daggers, but you can kind of make an argument that it's still a blade style of weapon. I think Dark Wolf is saying just like, there's other variety out there that we can just get rid of the fucking blades. You know what I mean? And there is, you know. All right, we got Tank Judge, a debuff focused tank that uses large 2-handed hammers. So I can finally have that big ass hammer that Nero uses. Dude, y'all love Nero, bro. It's Nero. You know what I'm talking about. Geomancer. Heals and shields self and party with earth magic. Weapons, gauntlets with magic gems. Picture double infinity gauntlets. Oh. So you want the healer to be a geomancer with gauntlets. That's actually not a bad fucking idea. Never thought of that. That's unique. Good shit. Alright. I have a couple ideas for both. Tank. Rune Fencer. Okay, so someone said that. Based off Celis, FF6. I do know who that is. And F11 class, right? Utilize her runic ability and specialize in an anti-magic tank and uses runes to deal and mitigate damage. Interesting. Viking, based off the FF3 class. I like how a lot of people who play FF14 play the older games, because I feel like a lot of people who play 14 had never really played like the older FF games. It's really nice to see that people have, you know. Based on FF30 class, you uses hammers as a weapon, can have ice and thunder based skills to stick with the Norse job fantasy. Healer, Geomancer. Yeah. This class have a role in Astral storyline. I would love to see it as a playable class. Bells, maces would be weapon of choice. I like to see them as a more in between. Okay. And then Chemist. Crab potions that you can toss to your allies. Maybe as you cast your regular abilities, you search some ingredients that allow access to higher level. Yeah, I think Chemist is a great idea. Chemist is the shit. We can do that. All right. Game needs more diverse playstyle classes before new classes. Okay, we heard this before. It's hard to be excited for any class if all that changes is animations and abilities. If they change how stuff works at the moment for more class identity and class differences, I would say tank. I would like to see some heavy, slow ass class with hammer, and for healers, some talisman user with steals and such. I doubt anything changes from how it is now. Combat feels more and more boring with each year. We got a hot take. I mean, look, you're right. I'm not gonna sit up here. I'll stand on business. I'm not gonna sit up here and say that like you're not right. You know what I mean? They definitely could add more animations, and they could definitely add combos to healer, make things different. You know what I mean? I don't know what kind of combat changes that people really want, but I don't know what they're gonna do with that. I don't see them reworking the combat system that heavy, but you know, I understand what you're saying for sure. You know, I second this. We really don't need another a homogenized darker paladin. We just need some job identity and variety. Yeah, I think variety would be nice. I think a lot of shit feels the same when it comes to tanks and healers specifically, as they both said, and they could make something completely different. I think the gauntlets are a good idea. I think a melee healer is a good idea, and I also think just reworking the current healers and giving them more stuff to do is a fantastic idea. You know, that's probably one of the best ideas, just giving healers more of a rotation of damage and combos. So is there any kind of caster tank, something like a barrier specialist? Potion take them interesting, drinking various brews, throwing poison, causing war crimes. I mean, that'd be interesting. Mystic Knight, Rune Fencer, a traditional caster tank. It occupies a similar niche to Red Mage, but where Red Mage is based around speedy casting with melee, augmenting the Mystic Knight as a slow tank uses magic primarily to enhance themselves, turning something in magic against them. I think Mystic Knight, I've heard Mystic Knight as a topic of conversation. I think they'd be a pretty good one. I think Mystic Knight would be pretty good. Caster tank is what I've been itching for. I'm not sure what it will be in FF14 universe, but I played other games where mages layer themselves in shields to basically become a tank. Interesting. Blue has some interesting but kind of meh taking abilities. A better blue style tank could be fun. I mean, yeah. I mean, you want to get really unique with it, bro. A caster tank is unique. You know what I mean? That will definitely be something that people be happy about, and that's right, and that's different. I want a gadget healer. Let me toss healing grenades and shoot people with healing love. That kind of reminds me of like Overwatch. Batiste or like Lucio. You know, could be a good addition. You said healing grenades and shit, so I thought Overwatch. Honestly, you could probably toss that into a chemist job to make a pretty cool playstyle that bounces between pairing heals, damage, and advance, and then launching them at the target. Could even copy mudras to make it a high AMP healer, where ingredients included, ingredient order is how you determine whether if you're doing single target AoE heals or damage. That's interesting. I think chemist could be a lot. I think chemist's job is. I think that is coming. And if they actually do it like that, with like mudras, that'd be dope as fuck in ingredients. But I think chemist will be here. I have a feeling, you know, that I'm talking that the old school Final Fantasy Tactics chemist where you just take a potion and whoosh, you know what I mean? So I'd rather give existing job identity and more to do than bloat the game up with more jobs that will consistently play the same. Heard that before. Yes, I play less than half of the jobs as it is. I haven't even bothered unlocking Reaper and Viper because I'm happy I can keep the rotation of a few jobs I play memory in my limited playtime. I respect that. I mean, we all have limited playtime. I mean, most people who play the game are adults. We got lives, we got school, we got work. I myself work a blue collar job. I work at 12, 16-hour shifts, you know, so I understand that completely. And yeah, a lot of people don't play a lot of jobs. I have seen that. I personally play like a lot of jobs. I actually want to get every job to 100.
Hey, yo, what the fuck?
But that's because I'm crazy. So you don't be like me. But, you know, yeah, respect. And then another comment. They need to fix everything else first. Then again, someone saying that the Yoshi P needs to fix what's already there, right? Okay, I don't know if we're getting down. There's still a lot of comments to go, guys. See all those comments? Woo! Lots and lots of stuff here. You know, lots and lots of good stuff. We're gonna keep going. We're gonna keep going. You know what I mean? Right now we're at 34 minutes. That's actually not bad, bro. So we are knocking stuff out. So let's keep going. Actually, grab a drink. This game needs a physical range DPS more than a Taker healer. I hope it will be Juggler from Tactics series. Yeah, I feel that. Also thought Juggler would be a mixture of Ninja and Red Mage, but a physical range job. I don't think Juggler will ever be added since Blue Jungler and Ninja and Red Jungler is Red Mage. They essentially just split Juggler in half and they added the Jugglers. My god, he's fucking, it's killing me. Even with the colors, I thought of purple before Shadowbringers. I'm never going to be a full job, limit job, or a phantom job. I think a juggler weapon could be a knife and a ball on the other hand. Interesting. Knife will deal physical damage while the ball can deal magical damage and buffs. One buff should be similar to Ebola. I think I know what I'm talking about. I think the knife can be the version of trick attack and the ball can do a mug and it fits vermin debuff. Machinists will feel jealous since their vulnerability was removed. Some of their actions could just be throwing various items, Molotovs, other things. Also unlocking juggler job by completing the juggler questline called NPCs who juggling. Okay, there'll definitely be a new physical range job, either a new tank or a new healer in the next expansion. It won't be juggler. So you really want juggler, but it won't be juggler. That was a long explanation. I've heard the physical range DPS is really bad right now. What is that? That's like Machinist, Bard, and see, I don't even know the other one. That's how bad it is. Shit. There's another one. I'm tripping. There's another one. There's more than just Machinist and Bard. I know. My mind went blank right now. But oh no, that's magic, bro. That's killing me, bro. No, that's killing me, bro. No, fuck it. Now I look it up. Yep. Sorry, guys. Gotta look it up. Yep. That's killing me, bro. Cause I don't play a lot of physical range DPS. You know, not yet. I have bar level 90, but see, that's how bad it is. I don't even know what they even have, bro. Hold on. Oh yeah, dancer. Right. What the fuck? How can I fit dancer? Okay, so there's 3. So yeah, I could definitely use another one for sure. I mean, this sounds pretty cool. I mean, the way that you spy juggler seems pretty pretty dope. Meowing wolf, but you know, they could add something like that. I mean, with all the feedback that they Yoshi P, he's getting a lot of feedback right now. They know that they need to do something crazy and step it up. You know what I mean? Like, I know he knows what people feel about healers right now in tanks. Like, but yeah, also, I mean, that'd be cool, you know? None. I want them to stop adding classes for more expansion and focus on rebalancing what they already have. Damn, so a lot of people are saying just fix the shit you already have, bro. And like, I have to respect it. Like, I can't be mad at that, bro. I really can't. You know, if they just made healers have a rotation, that would help. I'm telling you. I do hope that the next healer is a pure healer, that maybe give Astro it sets back, or stacks back, so we'll have 2 shield, 2 pure, and 1 Ami healer. But I'm fine without Nocturnal, not gonna lie. I think Astro should get his shit back regardless, honestly. But I feel you. Give me a foul class, or give me Def. I agree. Conqueror would be dope for Honor in FF14. I like a time mage healer. A healer hybrid like Dancer that heals, and maybe rather than having an extended damage kit, they just have the standard dot and spendable damage, then bust the party / debust monsters with haste and slow. Interesting. Time Mage is an FF Tactics. Time Magic is in a lot of Final Fantasy games as it is. So I don't really see how they couldn't do that, honestly. And this is a response to the Time Mage. I think closer we're going to get to that is Astro. They have several time-based spells and cards that buff. True. I don't think we'll ever get a class that specializes in debuffs as their main thing, because then they will become necessary class in high-end things. Ninja is a prime example of that. When it first came out, you had to have a ninja in your party to help you with major burst damage. Now I don't think it's all that necessary because they nerfed it a bit more. That's true. They don't want a class that, like, so the thing about FF14 is like they want it to be as balanced as possible, right? So having a class that can debuff things will be a class that like you will feel like you had to play, right? Well, man, if I'm not playing this said class, I will not get that debuff on this really hard trial or raid that we're trying to do, or the dungeon runs can go faster if I can just debuff the boss and they can do more damage. That could be a problem. So I don't think they're adding debuffing. I agree. It would be cool though. You know, maybe like a slight debuffing class would be kind of cool, but it could break the balance of the game. So I don't see Yoshi P doing that. So all right. He responded. And they used to have you more. You used to be able to play above duration. Okay. Given AST can't have the ability to complete the same. Okay, yeah. Right. Facts. All right. Well, we already have a bard and a pickle in the game. I want Netsuo to be idle. What? Give me a mic. Record a bunch of ad tracks singing, raging from debut high school idol to 30-year-old smokers, cough, deaf, growl, and let me heal everyone with the power of a song. What the fuck did I just read? Are we? What's that show right now? That demon, the anime right now? People talking about like pop star demon hunters, or there's an anime on Netflix right now. I think it's like they're like pop star, but they hunt demons too.
Why are they playing Takedown?
Something's wrong.
Rumi!
That sounds like that shit right there, like low key. But really, if we get chemists, I want to actually mix my potions manually and throw them at people and give me needles so I can extract blood from enemies. That's hilarious. For tanks, like a hammer, but please not another sword. Hammer, lance. Hell, I'll take a shield Goofy style, but no more swords, please. Hey, you know what? Goofy will fuck shit up, bro. Okay, Goofy from Kingdom Hearts, that Goofy tornado in FF14, that is a threat to be fucking reckoned with. You know, Goofy should be a new tank. You know, Goofy should be the fucking the leader of the guild. You know what I mean? I'm telling you. I'm telling you. People don't like swords, huh? Huh. Y'all don't want no swords, huh? I understand. Honestly, not to keep being a bitter hashtag healer striker. Uh-oh. Okay. But at this point, I almost don't want another healer. You're not the only one that said that. So I understand. I don't know why they're sticking to this Trinity, if they don't even want it. So the Trinity, I think you're talking about the Holy Trinity. Okay. Most fights could easily be no healed or solo healed from a numbers basis. And most of the ones that can be easily soloed healed are only that way because of designated mechanics that target both healers, not because both healers are needed to heal. Okay, true. I mean, that's not a bad take, I guess. A better move at this point is to shake it up, change the healer roles to support, make it more about team buffing and enablement. Stuff Bard and Dancer and maybe Red Mage in that role. Or if you're going to insist on keeping the dead role, change full party layouts to 1 healer and 5 DPS. What? And at least for future content, think of like how ARR 24-man raids have 2 tanks per alliance, but they changed it for the future content to have only 1 tank per alliance. Do something similar for raids and trials. Maybe give tanks a dedicated healer res, so that 1 healer dying isn't a definite wipe without summoning a red mage. Maybe healers can self-res and re-rise after a certain amount of time. I don't know if there's ideas to work with. I think you have to fix the role before you add more jobs to the role. They got time. Following the pattern suggests a tank will come before any more healers. Give the role a real identity before you add another role, or just be another DOE, things like a dot job and a dead role that most everyone is unsatisfied with, that you have to fix later. Now, this is a very interesting fucking take here. Now, you're not being bitter about sharing your opinion. Your opinion is your opinion. Stand on your fucking business. Okay? Now, you're not the only one in this Reddit post that said that there should be no more healers and they should just fix the shit that they have. Now, your thing about putting the healer to more support role is interesting. I've heard there is a certain YouTuber, I think his name is, it's not Xnovex, I believe. You know what I mean? Has posted videos of him soloing dungeons with no healer, like a warrior in 3 DPS. I mean, I don't think they won't do this. Like, they won't do this. But it would be cool if they give it a shot, because I think that putting healers more of a support role, giving them more to do, is definitely good. I don't know about if they gave tanks a res, that would be interesting, because but the whole thing about healers being resed up after a certain amount of time, don't think they'll ever do that. But I mean, if they ever got rid of the Holy Trinity, that would be the way to do it. You know what I mean? I just don't see FF14 getting rid of the Holy Trinity. You know what I mean? As much as this idea could probably work, I don't see them getting rid of the Holy Trinity, honestly. But I'm gonna give it a light, bro, because like that's actually very true, and you stood on business, and that's actually something that it's a problem. We can all admit that healing's a problem, and that could solve it, but they won't do it. They won't do it. Let's respond to this. 100% this. I don't want to add any more healers until they can fix the role itself, and maybe add some more nuisance back to the ones we have, so they aren't just a one-button spam job. True. And I talked about this, bro. I talked about how like every fucking healer needs at least a 2-button rotation. It doesn't matter. I heard I'm not even there yet. Okay. I heard like in Ultimate and Savage content, you're still pressing 1 button. That's what I heard. Someone drop a comment below. Like I said, I'm in Shadowbringers, just taking my time. Well, I'm actually playing MSQ now, finally. I should have did this like years ago and getting done the story, you know. But drop comment below, you know what I mean, if you beat Ultimate and you beat Savage and it's still what they say, a 1-button spam job. I heard that's what it is. That's crazy. Or like roll, excuse me. It's still a 1-button spam roll, you know. Surgeon, a melee healer, long cast bars in melee range, might be too overpowered though. No. Do it. Get some fucking surgery in this just like fucking house, you know what I mean? Fucking ER, you know, paramedic style, just popping in there. That's dope. That'd be hilarious. If it was called surgeon and like you go somewhere like in You'll Die, it's like a hospital. That'd be hilarious. I don't know why. Next expansion is probably be a tank in a physical range. We got a new healer not that long ago. We did. When did they add Sage though, bro? When that was Endwalker, right? Yeah, I mean, if it's gonna be like every 2 years, okay, well then definitely a tank needs to be added. Fuck. I mean, because when did GMB come out? That was, I don't know. I thought that Endwalker as well, or was that Shadowbringers? I have no fucking idea. For tanks, we have 3 flavors of swords, so I'm half expecting something like a hammer or a lance. For physical range, I'm thinking crossbow. We get a chemist and his bombs. I don't think chemist is gonna be a DPS. I think healer. I personally think, I know people really want another physical range, and we do another physical range, but I don't know. It's tough because for sure they're gonna add another tank. I think that's overdue. But healing needs to fucking work, bro. Like, no one plays fucking healer, bro. I'm sorry, bro. Like, it's fucking sad, you know. And if everyone says the same shit, we got a fucking problem. You know what I mean? I can see Geomancer being added as support healer job with what the fuck is this? The black fucking what the fuck? Must have been a bad word for to put a whole black line on it. Okay, wait, I don't know. I don't fucking know. But I guess he says that Geomancer should be added, which that could be pretty good. All right, here we go. I severely want a tower shield tank, maybe a pike or a one-handed lance on the side to actually do damage, since I assume a good chunk of players don't want to have a silly balk animation of combos and GCDs. Please, for the love of God, more jobs with offhand weapons, like poor paladin for the bucklers, third mages, and CNG had. Yeah, I know what I'm talking about. But I want a giant fuck off shield as a main weapon. Yeah, another one that said that. As for potential 5th healer, I'm not sure, because one way or another it's going to be a regen or a shield, and it will force it to have a 6 down line, unless they get rid of the, I'm not gonna lie to you, I don't know what the fuck that word means, bro, but okay, and let us have stances like, let's just say again, so God, okay, yeah, right, God, I love Nocturnal Astro so much. I think a regen stage through Eucrasia could do some cool stuff too, or hell, even a shielding Geomancer style white mage, bringing back both Stonekin and Aquavel as we have. It could be a really OCD shield. I think that word means that, like, bad. The stances, yeah, I mean, they should bring back, like I said, bring back the stance for Astro. People want the Astro to be back the way it was. Hopefully they fix that. We'll see. I want to stop adding jobs for the sake of adding them and focus on gameplay. Yep. Then again, another person saying that they should just fix what they have. I agree. But they will add something. I will tell you that. It doesn't matter if people think they shouldn't, they're gonna add something. You know, there will be no expansion where they don't add no new jobs. There would never be an expansion where they just fix everything only. I don't see them doing that. I really don't. But I could be wrong. But I really don't. Tank should get a lance or hammer. Healer should be an alchemist. Those are what I like, but they're probably really scared to add a tank or a healer. Why? They shouldn't be scared. We need them. That's crazy. But you're right. But they shouldn't be scared. Like, we need, bro. Like, don't get me started. DPS is oversaturated. We need more tanks and healers. You know what I mean? It's crazy. Great Lance tank sounds very cool. Next expansion is slated to have a tank and physical range. So yeah, people really push for this tank and physical range. That's fine, bro. As long as they just fix healing, though. You know? But probably just pattern recognition. Stormblood was melee ranged. Excuse me. Stormblood was melee range magic. Sidebringers was tank range physical. Endwalker was healer melee. Dawn Trail was melee range. So they're saying that like we won't get another healer because Endwalker just added Sage. And then Dawn Trail added melee and range. So therefore, okay, so that means GMB was added in Shadowbringers. Correct. And I forgot what the range, I guess Dancer was also, I think it was GMB and Dancer. Is that right? Huh. But they could throw us off. This could be a troll. Maybe they want you to think there's a pattern, but there's no pattern. We don't know. But if you go off of a pattern, then that would make sense. But I have a strong feeling with the healer strike, with all the negative feedback, that we're gonna see a healer change or a new class. That's melee. I don't think they're going to ignore it. The healer. All right. What I want, but it's probably outside of job aesthetic scope, a spiritual healer with a crystal ball for the weapon. That's kind of like Astro with the globe, right? Sword like medium. I to lean into more spooky vibes. Well, that's what they wanted for the Necromancer, but they may have fit the lore. That one might come off as too evil looking. And 14 has some kind of reveal too much with the afterlife, so probably won't happen. Yeah. A more harvest witch theme weekend. Healer, maybe like a Coldron placement mechanic early start that plays with a cooldown choice being used during its picking out an ingredient. Interesting. I would like to see like a nature magic use for this. This probably won't happen because the dev team can't figure out how to incorporate chemists twice in 10 years. Just give us chemist. Give us chemist. So this is his wish list right here. Is the realistic choices: Rune Fencer, Geomancer. Yeah. I mean, y'all keep saying Geomancer. It's gonna happen. I think. You know what I mean? Dual wheel tank. Berserker probably might be too thematic. Some of the warrior though. Yeah. I don't see them doing Berserker. Because Warrior has like a Berserker mode, mode that like his eyes glow red, and you know, low key Warrior is a Berserker. I mean, you heal yourself so fucking much with that sustain. You know what I mean? So, Kivens, bet. I'm not saying it's viable. I'm not saying it's smart, but not even saying it'll even mechanically work. But a caster tank would definitely hilarious. That would work. People already said that. Like, what was that? Rune Fencer or the Mystic Knight? That could work. A caster tank that could work, dude. Maybe give him like gauntlets, and like you can like use like hand magic and also do some melee attacks too. I mean, it could work, bro. Tank, hammer class, taught by Gaia or Nero. Yep. Healer, maybe something based off of ether balancing chakras. Okay. Blitz ball, bro. We need fucking blitz ball. either as the next range physical or the next fucking what is it? Just thing to do in Gold Saucer needs to be Blitzball, bro. I'd love to see Mystic Knight, but I think it'll be a DPS. I hope not. Next tank, Rune Blade. Uses Rune Glyphs, protection, enhancing magic. Nice. That'd be cool. Aiming Job, Boomerang. Big old Boomerang. Tank. Steel Rune Fencer. Eric keeps saying Rune Fencer, bro. What's crazy? Healer, I don't know. But a melee healer who slaps bandages on people. Yeah, it needs to be melee, bro. We need a melee healer, bro. Spellblade. Maybe a rune sword the weapon. Make a rune sword the weapon. It needs to maintain a basic melee combo, generate its resources. Runes that appear on a sword can then spin on larger heals. Melee combo, okay, that'd be cool. That'd be cool. I like that. I want a proper dodge tank. Although, how do you do that? I still keep healer relevant. I'm not sure. You don't. A plant-based healer. Okay. Bring back the wand and shield design. That'd be cool. For tank, I'm not really sure. I love something with more magic based. Maybe something that doesn't have super high armored. Yeah. Maybe like an arc. Yeah, people call it like a caster tank. Would be cool. Please be an edgy healer. I want something dark and grotesque. Our healers are too cutesy and girly right now. And I'm a girl. Bet. You need melee combo base healer. Right. I love a evasion based tank. Yeah, but that'll kill healer role. And like I said, FF14 is real key on Holy Trinity. Rune Fencer, I heard that one. Tactician. Weapon fan. Heals with short buffs. Shields damage boost. That's interesting. I like that. Geomancer tank. Chemist healer. Bet. Oh, I want a physical range with the sickle chain. That's dope, dude. Like a sickle chain would be dope as fuck, bro. That's a good idea, dude. Summoner by a tank class. Give us back Titan EG, you cowards. What the fuck? Some sort of magic knight for a tank. Collecting charges or self buffs, but debuffs if you mismanage a resurrection skill for shit and giggles. Maybe use gauntlets or a power amplifier and bare hands like 1, 2, 13s. Yeah, oh yeah, FF13 snow through a blunt blade. Yeah, I bet. For healer, maybe something witchy. Yeah, right. I don't think that, like I said, we'll be in the video, so I'll give my thoughts here. Different, good answer. Blitzball, fuck yeah. I want a Keyblade Knight as a new tank class. You must be a Kingdom Hearts fan. Let's know the fact that I like Kingdom Hearts to play tank. Yeah, you definitely like Kingdom Hearts. You say Keyblade Knight, bro. Like there ain't no way you don't play Kingdom Hearts, my dude. I want to see a healer use a hammer since there's a weapon for them, or make Geomancer official. Yep. We have more comments. My God, y'all killed these comments, bro. But for the last ones, bro, we hit an hour, but we're gonna go through these last comments. You know what I mean? I'm gonna read everyone's comments. Scheme through them. Still praying for a Life's Bar Garmin expansion and some judge themed job, even if it's not called that. Why did I get a negative? No. Why did it get negative? This got a negative too. Is what happened? I think the highest demand healer has to be chemist. Okay. I see time mage occasionally. Oh, here we go. No idea why tank. Wait, no idea what tank people even want anymore. I have too many DPS ideas in my mind. I guess Mystic Knight, Rune Fencer is table, but there's a ton of overlap with Dark Knight. I'd rather Spellblade be a DPS. Okay. On the other hand, we already have 4 options for each tank and a healer. including 2 apiece for subdivision, MT, OT, pure healer, shield healer. We have only 6 main DPS because of gearing concerns. Meanwhile, we have 3 physical range, which seems like the next one target. I'll be shocked if they continue adding more beyond physical range to jobs. Yeah. We got sword and shield, axe, big sword, gunblade. I like fist or magic based tank, and partially it's from when you could tank as a monk if the main tank expected the floor. Fist and great shield, that could work. I want an alchemist healer. Okay. Now we have the alchemist as a DOH job. I need a different name, but I'm not even clever enough to come up with it. But missing potions to heal and damage, that seems cool. Yeah, that does seem cool. Chemist was almost decided on before going to Astro. Yeah, facts. The tank got either class with attacks with the shield or class attacks with the hammer. Okay. Healer, I want an edgelord. Right. Okay. Psychic as a tank. Yeah, that'd be cool. I want a shield only job. I want a new range cannon or whip. That'd be cool. A cannon would be cool. A whip would be interesting. Nah, fam. We need 1 or 2 physical range DPS. We've only got 3 and they literally all feel the same to play. I know a lot will say that's the case for every class in the same category, but while it is true to an extent, physical range job that seems to be the biggest offender of it. Alright, fam, like real talk though. I mean, you ain't lying. I mean, think about it. We got 4 tanks. Dark Knight, Paladin, Gunbreaker, and Warrior. Healers, Scholar, White Mage, Astral, and Sage. For physical range DPS, we just have Machinist, Dancer, and Bard. It's only 3. There's more tanks than there are more in that role. But, I mean, to say that Bard, Machinist, and Dancer feel the same to play, I don't know about that. I mean, I think making a comparison on Bard and Dancer could be a thing. But Machinist is very selfish. It's a very selfish DPS. I think it just has that move, what's it called, like Tactician or some shit, that gives you like the mitigation for your team. Bard and Dancer, okay, yeah, you're playing buffs, you're doing buffs, you know, that's kind of still, I see that, but I think physical range does need some love. Will it get the love next expansion? I don't know. You know what I mean? Because they just added DPSs. They added 2 DPSs expansion. You know, so I don't know what they're gonna add next. But since, in my opinion, Dawn Troll just had 2 DPSs, we're gonna see a new role get something. You know what I mean? All right. I do wonder what they'll do with variation of current weapons, i.e. swords, axe, trying to make something fairly new. Random healer idea. Seamstress. Can't think of a gender. Neutral name besides Weaver. Weaving a giant needle in a ball of thread. Interesting. Sewing wounds closed and blocking damage with a magical claw. See, that's unique as fuck. That's pretty good, man. That's pretty good. Tank wise, someone else mentioned Rythanen's great gun shields. I know that is. I put his name. I know that is. That could be fun. If we are still missing a mace based class, unless you paired it with a shield, I still remember a character in the game I love with these mace, right? A mace and a shield would be a good combination for sure. I for one would like more job with the offhand weapon. Yeah, I heard that one. Or another shield user at least. It doesn't really change much stat wise from what I can gather. Okay, that's cool. We're gonna scheme through these. Since White Mage lost all of its Earth aspect magic once he made the Shadowbringers, and they shifted focus to light expected stuff, I really want to see Geomancer make an appearance. It will probably. Y'all keep saying it, bro. It's gonna be there. All right, last 2 comments. My dream jobs that will never happen. Here we go. Healers, Shrine Garden. They use those paper things Shrine Maidens use in anime to fight demons. I'm talking about like that fucking. I know what you mean. Chemist, using potions, yes. Tanks. The ultimate dream team would be for all melee and tank classes to be able to be both tanks and melee DPS, as in you switch between their roles. What the fuck? Or something like Scholar and Summoner, where they can both have certain weapons and level each other. Okay, I get it now. So you can be a tank monk with bigger gauntlets as a dual mini shields, or a tank dragoon with a spear and shield, or a Reaper DPS. So I never have to heal squishy tanks again. I'm a healer main. Oh, I'm sorry, but I feel that because I kind of am too. It gets rough. Gotta stay true. But since this is never going to happen, here are some classes I'd really like to see. Wukong class. Tank that uses a bow staff. Rather than taking a damage, it tanks by dodging, and it uses heavy hitting to do bow with staff attack. Interesting. I would like that. Monk tank. Yeah, I really like the idea. A monk-like class that tanks and its gauntlets are bigger and longer, have various shield-like designs on both arms. Terra had a great punching tank class. We do need a punching tank class. Magic tank. No idea what you call it, but it uses magic up close, uses block attacks. You know what? This is a great comment. I want a whip class. Like a melee range combined would be cool. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we have made it into the Reddit. That's a lot of comments, a lot of engagement. Thank you so much if you watched this whole video and you stuck with it. Wow, what a variety of different opinions we have. What a variety of all these thoughts and speculations. So I think it's fair now, into the video, you made it this far, that I say what I want. Well, here's the deal. You know, I do think that we need a new healer. You know, I understand what people are saying, that the physical range DPS is slept on. I've seen the videos. I've done the research. I know what the community thinks. Machinist, Bard, and Dancer are just in a bad fucking place right now. The whole role is in a bad fucking place. I understand that. But I think healing is also in a bad place. I think healing, people think it's not engaging. It's spamming one button. It's very boring. Not to dive into Healer Strike, but you gotta think about all the things that happened recently with the healer role. And I think next expansion, there's a chance that they will add a new healer. But, you know, what I want is, I want a melee healer. I want something, I don't know what. It can be a variety of anything different, but I want something that's going to get up close and hit the enemy and do combos to heal your team. Now, I don't know how they're going to implement that, but I think they could. A mace and a shield could be a good way to do it. Also, I like to see Chemist. I think Chemist is something that needs to happen. FF Tactics, it was amazing. It's fun. You could throw potions, you can mix potions, you could throw them down for AoE, big fire damage. You can even mix different potions, different elements, maybe like lightning, you know, earth, and just throw it. Maybe you can have like a super heal where you can like mix the potion up and throw it, like, you know, kind of like lob it to your tank, lob to your DPS. It can be really fun. But if they don't do that, I'll be happy if they just rework healers. And they just give it more of a damage rotation. You know what I mean? That we desperately need in this game. You know, because the role is suffering, in my opinion. As for a tank, after reading this post, I do agree with people. Maybe we have a little bit too many swords. I don't mind swords, but I would like to see a kind of like a FF14 snow style of tank, like a brawler style of tank that may utilize more, kind of like a monk, but it's more like a Balrog, Street Fighter, boxing heavy hitter. Or I think maybe like a caster like that dude from Overwatch. I forgot his name, but he's a tank, but he throws rocks at you and shit. Uses psychic abilities. Either like a really brawler or like a psychic type of tank would be cool. That'd be different. If they add a new physical range DPS, A crossbow would not do too well. It's too similar to the bard's bow, but I think a sickle, like from Neo, or like a whip would be cool. Well, no, not a whip. That's fucking dumb because like, no, not a whip. A sickle, like a chain sickle, maybe that could do something. Probably won't do that, even though it does extend. It's kind of ranged. Or I don't know. You know, that's the thing about physical range. I think Blitzball, like Waka, FF10 could work. Matter of fact, I think I'm gonna go for Blitzball. Or the juggler thing I read on a Reddit post with a knife in the ball. Those could be good physical range DPS. And I do agree that we need one. So my prediction, you know, if we're going off of the theory of they're just copying their thing, because they might not be, it might be a tank in the physical range. If it's not a tank in the physical range, it will be a tank in the healer. They're not going to ignore tank. We had it in Gunbreaker. I mean, we had it in Gunbreaker. We had it in Shadowbringers. That was the last one. That's a long time ago. You know, it needs something different. I always liked Nero. I thought he had a cool armor setup, a cool hammer. So I'm not mad about that idea. If they add a hammer tank, you know, I'll play it. Every classic game I'm gonna play. It doesn't matter. You know what I mean? But specifically, that's what I think, and that's what I would add. And yeah, maybe we'll see some of these things come true. You know, maybe we'll see Blitzball. Maybe we'll see a Chemist. Maybe we'll see Geomancer. Maybe we'll see like a melee brawler style of tank. Let's just hope whatever they add is going to be good. Also, let's hope that they do go back and they fix things that are already there. So if they do add nothing, which like I said, they're going to add something. But if they don't add anything and they just fix the game for what it is and make healers better and tanks more, you know, just fix everything, like rework Dark Knight, that could be good too. People won't be happy about it because nothing new. But I think some fans would be, they would respect that decision from Yoshi P. You know what I mean? That he went back and he fixed things that fundamentally are not a good spot right now, right? To a lot of the community. So, thank you guys for watching the video. You know, if you want to support, you can do usual stuff. You can like the video, this engagement. You can comment. You can engage the video any type of way. That's cool. Helps me out. You know, I got my my TikTok should be linked. Follow me on TikTok. You know, on Twitch, I stream all the time. I take my stream clips to YouTube videos. So yeah, check me out on Twitch. And yeah, I'm super happy that you guys respond to the video. I know I talked your fucking ear off. It's kind of how I am. But like I said, if you stuck around, I really appreciate it. Really appreciate you making it into the video and watching all the video. It means a lot to me. And yeah, it's been your boy Justin, and I'm gonna sign off. And leave a comment. What do you think the next tank and healer should be in FF14? Or do you think they should just ignore it and fix this shit they already have? Let me know. Let's talk about it in the comments. Peace out. I'm out.